Today we are sharing 5 warning signs that it is time to switch real estate brokerages. These are warning signs that I had in my business for actually quite a while, and I didn't even realize. I had no idea. I was super blind to it. So my hope is that if you are in the same boat I was in, I hope that you can grab some value from this video, whether you are a brand new agent or whether you are somebody who's been in the business for a while. We are just gonna have a really laid back conversation. I am going to go down the list and share each of these warning signs and then chat a little bit about it and share, I guess you could say, just my personal experience with each of these things. Just a little bit of background real quick in case you're new here. So I got my real estate license when I was 18, right out of high school, and I was with the same brokerage for the first 8 years in the real estate business. So a couple years after I got licensed, my husband Spencer quit his job and joined me. And we've been a husband and wife real estate team ever since. And this is something we have always been on the same page on, is we have always both said together, we will never, ever, ever switch brokerages. I saw so many agents just switching brokerages and acting like switching brokerages was gonna like fix their business or give them business or something, or they got offended over here so they're just gonna hop on over here. But like, I just thought it was so silly and a waste of time, and I really just like kept my head down, knew what I liked about my brokerage, and did not want to waste any time in my waste any time switching brokerages, because switching brokerages is something I didn't take lightly. I do not think of it as something like, I'm a very like long-term loyal gal, and I just saw it as a really, really big deal, I guess you could say. Like, I wasn't a brokerage hopper, okay? Same brokerage for 8 years, and always said we would never switch until about a week before we did. And we went from like, we are never moving to, we need to move right now. This is what we absolutely have to do. And I'm so glad we did. My only regret is that we didn't move sooner. I've shared this story. I'm not going to go like super in depth on my story of why I switched brokerages, because I share that already on my channel. I have an entire playlist, actually. It's called like Real Brokerage or something like that. And I have a video called I left Berkshire Hathaway, and then I have a video called I joined Real Brokerage, and those go more in depth on like our reasonings and stuff and how this all went down, especially the one called I left Berkshire Hathaway. So go find that if you haven't watched it already. But this happened super quick, and it's funny because although we always said up until about like literally a week before we switched brokerages, I was going to my office to clean it because I wanted it to look nice, because I was going to start using it, because I didn't usually work from the office, but we had our own like private office room, and I was like, it's time to go clean this so we can start using it. So I, like a week before, was not planning on switching. And it's funny though, because although we had absolutely no plans of switching, and we were so had our minds so made up about that, I started praying about a year prior, I would say, about a year before we switched, that whole year. This is something that would come up when I was in prayer with the Lord often, was, Lord, if you want us to switch brokerages, make it clear to us. Like, please make it clear as day to us. You're going to have to tell us. If this is something you ever want us to do, please tell us. And it's funny because I would pray that. It just came up in my prayer time, and I felt like I was supposed to pray it. But then after I prayed it, like literally every time, I would always just be like, that's weird, because like we're not switching brokerages. Like, I know we're never going to switch, but whatever. I felt like I'm supposed to say that. So it's funny. I feel like maybe in a way the Lord was like preparing my heart that whole time. But anyway, with all that being said, guys, let's just get right into these warning signs, okay? Warning sign number 1 is you are uninspired in your business. My husband and I have had really great times in real estate. We've had really great seasons in real estate, and we kind of were just at a point where we were kind of bored, to be completely honest, and not very inspired. And a couple reasons I'll share real quick why Real has really re-inspired me especially is, one is we are very, very video heavy in our business. We do a lot of video marketing. Nobody at our last brokerage was doing that. Nobody was training on it at all. Like, none. I don't think that these big dinosaur brick and mortar brokerages even train on this, or have like people who are actually successful at it who are able to train on it, if that makes sense. But when we switched over to Real, there are masterminds every single week, going on multiple times a day actually, where we're seeing agents who are using video at the highest level in the industry, sharing exactly what's working for them for their video marketing. We're able to learn directly from them and collaborate with and connect with and talk with other agents who are actually doing what we're doing, which has been so fun. So that's one thing, one way we've kind of been more re-inspired by switching. And then two is Real Broker offers something called revenue share, which I won't go into detail on. It's not something they push by any means, like other companies you may have heard of that are cloud-based do push this a lot more. They do not push it at all. Their big thing is like, we want agents to join our company who want to sell a lot of real estate and do it really well. That's what we want. We're not focused on this big number of growing and recruiting. Like, no. However, if you do have people who want to be part of your network, they want you to be like kind of like your mentor or someone they can call on when they need help, run business ideas by, then that is an area of your business you're actually able to get paid to do, which is so cool because I've always had relationships with real estate agents all over the country because I've always posted on this YouTube channel. I've always kind of had these like agents I would do phone calls with, and I genuinely love it and enjoy it. Brainstorming sessions, masterminds, to get like all of that. I love it so much. But now we're able to make passive income doing it. Now we have a crew of agents who have signed up with us at Real, and because of that, now anytime they have a closing, we're on the other end of the country, we're able to get part of that commission and we get paid from it. It's basically, in a way, we're able to have a lot of the benefits of having a team without actually having to be a principal broker, be a team leader, all of that. While we do have a small team here in Oregon, we're able to have agents join us essentially all over the country and have the benefits of having a large team, such as being able to mentor and have a relationship with and help other agents. I have agents, they reach out to me, they ask me questions, I get to help them and answer them. I don't know everything, but I'm happy to help how I can. So we're able to help in that way and then also get paid part of their commission, which is literally the same as when you are a team leader, if you're not familiar with the real estate world. So that has been such a big blessing, and it's the reason it's inspired me. I'm still on point one, guys, but the reason that it has inspired me in my business is because I think real estate can be very lonely. It can be a very lonely space, especially if you're in my boat where you don't go to the office because you are also a mom. So when you work, you basically work from home around your kids. Like, well, my kid doesn't really nap anymore, but their TV time schedule, I don't know, nap time schedule, whatever. Like, you work in very weird times, hours, whatever, bedtime. So you're not going to the office to work. That doesn't make sense. So you're not seeing people, but then also most of my clients are out of state. I'm doing video tours, which I'm so grateful for. I did that intentionally and I love it so much. But at the same time, it can be kind of lonely because you're not even seeing your own clients in person. You're literally just, you do a Zoom call with them and then you're doing video tours, which again, as a mom, it's the most convenient thing ever, but also kind of lonely. And so that's another thing that I have just been loving so much about Real, is that these agents who have joined us at Real, we're able to have Zoom calls with. I'm about to do a Zoom call with an agent who has joined us with Real, and we're going to basically just go over some like brainstorming. She's brand new, so we're going to just go over like brainstorming some ways that she can get business, and hopefully I can help in some way. Obviously, I'm not an expert. There are rules at Real to where we are not allowed to say like, oh, if you join me, I'm going to offer you my coaching. Like, I'm not qualified to be a real estate coach and I don't want to be a real estate coach. We're not allowed to do that. However, Real is very big on agents helping agents and collaboration. The agents who have become part of our community at Real across the country, who I'm able to chat with, send voice messages to back and forth, and do Zoom calls with on occasion, that to me has brought a sense of real estate community that I honestly have never even had, even though some of them are local, but most of them are not anywhere near me locally. Okay, that's enough on that one point. Let's move to point two. If you like to listen to these videos, these chit chats while you're driving down the road, while you're going on a walk, while you're doing the dishes, while you're on a run, and you don't want necessarily listening to YouTube, then head over to Spotify, or actually don't head over to Spotify. Check out the link in the description below that will take you just to our podcast on Spotify. Right now it's called the Real Estate Girls Podcast. The name might change in the future, so just in case the name changes. It hasn't changed yet. In case it does change at some point, just use the link below and subscribe on Spotify, and then you can listen to these videos that I'm making in that way as well, and it would be so much fun. Okay, moving on. Number two, the warning sign number two that you gotta switch brokerages is not a good culture fit. You don't enjoy going to your office, and it isn't a positive environment. Okay, let me just share a little brief story. So like I mentioned earlier, about a week before I switched brokerages, I was going to my office. We had our old office that we were at, it was a big brick and mortar franchise real estate brokerage, right? They had a big building, and in that big building, the top producing agents had their own private office room. So my husband and I had our own private office space, which we still had to pay for, by the way, and we never used it. It just wasn't convenient to work from there. Why would we work from there when we can just work from wherever we're at, wherever we're going? You know what I'm saying? So we didn't ever use it, and I hadn't stepped foot in there probably since it'd been years, really, probably since I literally became a mom, years. The only time I ever went to the office was if I needed to make prints, which I bought a beautiful, fantastic, really great quality printer, so solved that problem right away, or if I was going to check my office mail or something. So I would occasionally go downstairs to the office to do those things, but I never, ever, ever went to my private office room anymore, okay? So when I walked into the office that day, though, about a week before we switched, when I was going there to clean out my office because I didn't know we were switching, I was baffled because back in the day, I got my license in 2015. When I first joined this big this big brick and mortar franchise office, it was popping. You would walk in, there were people here, there were people there was tons of staff. It was just the place to be. There were people passing out donuts, walking around. It was wonderful. It was like City Square, Times Square, City Center. That was like the office. But the last time I walked into the office, there was not one employee. I think the time before that I went, there was one. It went from one to there were no employees, no one at the front desk greeting you. The lights were off. And this wasn't after office hours, guys. It was dark. There was no principal broker sitting in the office there to answer your problems, be there for you. No principal broker there. And it was like a ghost town. And so what I'm saying is that I think that brick and mortar brokerages are dying. I think that a lot of you guys, comment below if you can relate. I know that a lot of you listening can relate because I have conversations with realtors who are thinking about joining Real often over Zoom, sometimes even over the phone. And I hear this common thread where you guys are like, yes, when I joined my office in 2015, whatever year it was, back in the day, a handful of years ago, it was the place to be. It was busy. We had sales meetings. It was popping. There was a principal broker there. And now it is a ghost town. The office is shrinking. They've relocated to a smaller location. They're having less employees. The lights are off more. The agents aren't working from the office. I could keep going, but brick and mortar brokerages are becoming dinosaurs. And I could go on and on about this. It's just wild. And it's crazy because I really, really believe if every agent knew about Real, their business model, if it was broken down to them about how at a certain point they are not paying to work there, they will literally be paid to be there. Just because of the way that they set up their wealth plan for their agents, there is not one logical reason that any agent would not be at Real Broker, even if they own their own brokerage. The only reason is if they own their own brokerage and didn't want to move over would probably be because wanting to have their own name on something. Okay, so this got so off topic, you guys. This is not even what the video is about. This video is not even about Real Broker. But anyway, what I was saying was, back to the whole point of what I was saying was, I walked into the office and it is a ghost town. So not a good culture fit. You don't enjoy being in the office anymore. This is a common thread. I know a lot of you guys are going to be relating to this because I have conversations with agents often, and this is something I'm hearing all the time from other agents. So I know it's not just that one office where I live. It is happening all over the country, guys. Another reason why you got to buy Real Broker stock now, because this is the future of real estate, okay? So not a good culture fit, you don't enjoy going into your office, it's not a positive environment. And I'm not saying you need to switch to Real Broker. It's not the best fit for everyone, but maybe it's a sign you need to switch brokerages. The next warning sign you need to switch brokerages is an inadequate financial agreement. You work hard as an independent contractor and no one hands you clients or leads as an independent contractor. It is all on you. You are running your own business. Yet you are paying a lot of fees every quarter, maybe even every month, plus a really undesirable commission split, leaving money on the table. It is wild to me how much money my husband and I have saved since being at Real Broker versus our previous brokerage, and we are getting so much more. I cannot stress that enough. Like, we thought we were getting a lot. We thought it was worth it. We didn't know. We didn't know what we didn't know. The next warning sign is lack of support. Your office isn't giving you the training you desire, and your broker is your competition selling houses themselves instead of their sole job being to support their agents. I think that kind of speaks for itself. I'm not really going to go into depth on that, but I know that's a very common thing that I hear from agents because, like I said, I talk to agents all the time who are thinking about in the process of switching brokerages, and many of them, that's a big reason why, is bad training. They don't have training on what they're wanting to do, or good training on what they're wanting to do, like social media, video, marketing, that YouTube, that kind of thing, or they don't have principal broker support, or they don't have any training at all. A huge one is just outdated training. Like, yes, outdated training. That's a very real thing at these dinosaur brokerages that are going to be out. They're going out. Guys, they're going out. Warning sign number 4 is limited tools and technology that your brokerage offers. Your CRM is outdated and it sucks, and you don't have access to AI. Warning sign number 5 that it's time to switch brokerages is the way you plan to market and grow your business in 2024 is a way that little to no agents in your office are doing and nobody is training on, also known as video marketing. This is a big reason why I decided to switch to Real Broker, or there were so many reasons, but this was a reason why I guess you could say I was excited to switch, was because literally every one of the top agents in the country, US and Canada, who are using video at the highest levels in the entire industry are at Real Broker, and they are telling agents, they are doing these trainings, telling agents exactly what's working for them. You do not get that at a brick and mortar brokerage. I know, I just have memories of sitting through social media training for real estate at a brick and mortar brokerage, at a few different ones, because I like to go to trainings even if I'm not with the brokerage, whatever. I love real estate trainings. And guys, this stuff is outdated. It is so outdated. The people teaching these classes are like a gray-haired guy. Like, I'm not even going to talk about this. So anyway, if you find yourself in a boat where you are like, I can relate to one or more of these warning signs, let's set up a Zoom call. I'd love to chat with you. Email me anytime. Any real estate questions or video suggestions. What videos do you guys want to see more of on this channel? I'd love to hear about that in the comments. I want to make the kind of videos that you guys want to make. So I always do videos based off of recently asked questions that I've been getting. So send me your questions and suggestions. Also, if you would like to be added to my monthly newsletter, feel free to shoot me an email and just say the words newsletter, and I will add you to that, where we chat about all things real estate agent related, real estate agent tips, marketing tips, what I'm doing in the real estate world, what's working for me, what's working for other agents I'm talking to, because I talk to a lot of agents, that kind of thing. Lastly, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I come on here every single week with new videos. And if you grab value from this video, hit the thumbs up button. It really does help us have the ability to make more videos like these for you guys. Head over to my channel. I have a handful of playlists you might grab value from, and I'll see you next week.